Parents nowadays, they think that nutrition can cure autism. But let me tell you, the diagnosis itself, it is so overwhelming that instead of eliminating diet and supplement, one should actually focus on nutritional assessment.
What does a low-cost, practical, autism-friendly diet actually look like in India? Usually things like dal, seasonal sabzi and local grains, all sorts of things included.
I mean, no human is same. Even the twins that are born, I think they are not identical nowadays.
Definitely.
So how come one diet will fit all autistic childs? It is not about winning an argument. It is about protecting your child's growth, keeping the bond intact, family bond intact, because that will be needed in the long term.
What if the food on your child's plate is doing more than just filling their stomach? What if it's affecting their energy, their sleep, their focus, and even how they experience the world around them? For many autistic children, food is not just nutrition. It's sensory, it's emotional, and it's deeply personal. Welcome to today's episode of the India Autism Center podcast. Today's question is simple, but it's also important. What actually matters when it comes to autism and nutrition, especially from an Indian context? Hi, I'm your host, Rick Chakraborty, and today to guide us through this, we have a renowned clinical nutritionist, Ms. Prerna Agarwal.
Hi.
She's the founder of Healthy Life by Prerna, and she brings over 15 years of experience helping families navigate nutrition in a way that is realistic, sustainable, and tailored to each individual. Welcome to the podcast, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having me.
So let's start with a question almost every parent has in the early days. My child was diagnosed with autism. Do I need to change their diet right away, or is that not necessary?
I think absolutely not, because the diagnosis itself, it is so overwhelming that instead of eliminating or focusing on eliminating diet and supplement, one should actually focus on nutritional assessment, because every child is different. Now, some may have GI issue, some may not have any issue at all. So hurrying and out of anxiety changing diet is what I would not recommend. I would say, be patient, observe, and maybe then take a professional help.
Right. Before we continue, we have a special announcement for our viewers. This weekend, we are hosting a special training workshop at our office on the role of nutrition for supporting individuals with autism. And we'd love for you to join us. Simply scan the QR code on your screen right now or check the link in the description below for more details. So we are coming back to our next question. Is there one autism diet that works for everyone, or does it depend on the child?
I mean, no human is same. Even the twins that are born, I think they are not identical nowadays.
Definitely.
So how come one diet will fit all autistic child? So absolutely no, there is no single diet that can cater all autistic child, because for instance, a child that has GI issue and a diet that is working for him or her might not work or may cause harm to another child.
Yeah.
So yes, there is no single diet.
Okay. Now, this is where things get a bit tricky. Parents often read that gluten-free, casein-free diets might help. But at the same time, doctors say that evidence is inconclusive. So here's something that parents are often concerned about. My child eats only 4 to 5 foods. Is this normal in autism, or should I be worried?
I think limited food acceptance is very common in autistic child. So there's nothing to panic about. Until your child is facing some, difficulty in their growth or nutrition, or they're having a mealtime distress, I mean, that is the time you should worry. Otherwise, I think it's quite normal if they're having 4 to 5 food and it is nutritionally balanced.
Right. Before we continue, here's a quick look at who we are at the India Autism Center.
Imagine a space designed not just to care for individuals with autism, but to empower them. A place where knowledge grows, support flourishes, and possibilities expand. This is India Autism Center. It is built to redefine how we approach autism. Through education, research, and community driven initiatives, we create an environment where individuals with autism can thrive. Samavesh, our residential campus, is designed for individuals with autism to live, learn, and grow with dignity and independence. It is more than just a place to stay, it is a space to belong. Manan, our training academy, prepares professionals to provide specialized care. Through structured programs, we equip individuals with the skills to support neurodivergent communities with confidence and compassion. Khoj, our research division, is dedicated to advancing our understanding of autism. Through data-driven studies and collaborative research, we work towards shaping the future of neurodiversity.
Now, let's bring this into the reality of Indian homes. Because honestly, advice like replace rice with quinoa, this might not be for everyone.
Yes.
So, what does a low cost, practical, autism friendly diet actually look like in India? Usually, things like dal, seasonal sabzi, and local grains, all sorts of things included.
So again, diet need not be fancy or imported. And in India, the meals that we are preparing in our household is actually nutritionally balanced. If you see, so like you can have dal for protein, and seasonal vegetables for micronutrients. You can have grains like jowar, bajra, ragi instead of having those refined wheat and rice for more fiber and nutrition. So now the key point here is how you are introducing these to your child in terms of texture and their acceptance. So, like dal and rice mixed in a certain way, or maybe hiding some vegetables in the parathas. Now, how your child is accepting it, you should know that pattern.
Okay.
So low cost and, like you said, autism friendly diet.
Yeah.
Isn't a contradiction, I would say. It is like you're having a consistent, or you're making a consistent smart tweaks in whatever the Indian family is having.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So there's these common lines like he'll grow out of it. You're spoiling him by giving separate food. These are often like coming from our grandparents
Yeah.
and other relatives. So how does a mother push back on that without being isolated from family support that she may desperately need?
Again, I would, tell mothers that don't take it as a fight. Maybe take it as an education, and gently explaining that, it is the sensory and the medical need, and it is not a personal preference for an autistic child.
Right.
So you involve grandparents in small ways, like, you ask them to help you with the food that your child is accepting. And, then maybe it allies instead of giving, having those criticism.
Yeah.
And yeah, because again, every child is different, so you have to handle it accordingly. The thing is, it is not about winning an argument. It is about protecting your child's growth, keeping the bond intact, family bond intact, because that will be needed in the long term.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. If you're watching this till this point and finding it helpful, please hit like and subscribe. So, before we close, I want to ask you this. If there's one thing you wish every parent understood about autism and nutrition, what would that be?
So parents nowadays, they think that nutrition can cure autism. But let me tell you, autism is not caused by food, and food cannot cure autism alone. But yes, if proper nutritional assessment has been done, and your child will definitely be benefited out of it in terms of energy, their GI will improve, their digestion will improve, and the overall habits will improve. But again, it is not something you should chase. You should not fall into fad diets, restrictive diets. Just be patient and seek more professional help.
Exactly. So, that wraps our podcast today. This conversation reminds us that there's no magic diet, there's no one size fits for all.
Yeah.
But with the right guidance, the right observation, and a lot of patience, food can become a source of support, not stress. Thank you so much, Miss Prerna,
Thank
for
you.
bringing clarity, practicality, and empathy into this conversation.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a privilege to have you, and thank you so much for joining us. ADL worksheets are available for free on our websites. Do check them out. The link is in the description below. Until we meet again, there's a pop up video on your screen. You can check that out as well.